May our Father, Messiah, and Holy Spirit be with us. The book of Jonah. I really love this book actually. The word of our Father never came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go at once to Nineveh, that great city, and proclaim judgment upon it, for their wickedness has come before me. Jonah, however, started out to flee to Tarshish from our Father in heaven's service. Where you going, Jonah? He went down to Yopa and found a ship going to Tarshish. He paid the fare and went abroad to sail with the others to Tarshish, away from the service of our Father in heaven. He trying to get away, huh? But our Father in heaven cast a mighty wind upon the sea, and such a great tempest came upon the sea that the ship was in danger of breaking up. In their fright, the sailors cried out, each to his own mighty one, and they flung the ship's cargo overboard to make it lighter for them. Jonah, meanwhile, had gone down into the hold of the vessel, where he lay down and fell asleep. The captain went over to him and cried out, "How can you be sleeping so soundly? Up, call upon your mighty one. Perhaps the mighty one will be kind to us, and we will not perish." The men said to one another, "Let us cast lots and find out on whose account this misfortune has come upon us." They cast lots, and a lot fell on Jonah. They said to him, Tell us, you who have brought this misfortune upon us, what is your business? Where have you come from? What is your country, and of what people are you? I am a Hebrew, he replied. I worship our Father in heaven, the Elohim of heaven, who made both sea and land. The men were greatly terrified, and they asked him, "What have you done?" And when the men learned that he was fleeing from the service of our Father in heaven, for so he told them, they said to him, "What must we do? What must we do to you to make the sea calm around us?" For the sea was growing more and more stormy. He answered, "Heave me overboard, and the sea will calm down for you. For I know that this terrible storm came upon you on my account." Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to regain the shore, but they could not, for the sea was growing more and more stormy about them. Then they cried out to our Father in heaven, "Oh, please, our Father in heaven, do not let us perish on account of this man's life. Do not hold us guilty of killing an innocent person. For you, O our Father in heaven, by your will, have brought this about." And they heaved Jonah overboard, and the sea stopped raging. The men feared our Father in heaven greatly. Therefore they sacrificed to our Father in heaven, and they made vows. Our Father in heaven provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah remained in the fish's belly 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah prayed to our Father in heaven, his Elohim, from the belly of the fish. He said, "In my trouble I called to our Father in heaven, and he answered me. From the belly of Sheol I cried out, and you heard my voice. You cast me into the depths, into the heart of the sea. The floods engulfed me. All your breakers and billows swept over me. I thought I was driven away out of your sight. Would I ever gaze again upon your holy temple? The waters closed in over me. The deep engulfed me. Weeds twined around my head. I sank to the base of the mountains. The bars of the earth closed upon me forever. Yet you brought my life up from the pit. O our Father in heaven, my Elohim, when my life was ebbing away, I called our Father in heaven to mind, and my prayer came before you into your holy temple. They who cling to empty folly forsake their own welfare, but I with loud thanksgiving will sacrifice to you. What I have vowed I will perform. Deliverance is our Father in heaven. Our Father in heaven commanded the fish, and it spewed Jonah out upon the dry land. The word of our Father never came to Jonah a second time. Go at once to Nineveh, that great city, and proclaim to it what I tell you. Jonah, when I went to Nineveh in accordance with our Father in heaven's command, Nineveh was an enormously large city. A 3 days walk across Jonah started out and made his way into the city, the distance of 1 day's walk, and proclaimed, 40 days more, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. The people of Nineveh believed Elohim. They proclaimed the fast, and great and small alike put on sackcloth. When the news reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his robe, put on sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he had the word cried, and he had the word cried through Nineveh by decree of the king and his nobles. No man or beast or flock or herd shall taste anything. They shall not graze, and they shall not drink water. They shall be covered with sackcloth, man and beast, and shall cry mightily to Elohim. Let everyone turn back from his evil ways and from the injustice of which he is guilty. Who knows but that Elohim may turn and relent. He may turn back from his wrath, so that we did not perish. Elohim saw what they did, how they were turning back from their evil ways, and Elohim renounced the punishment he had planned to bring upon them and did not carry it out. That's a blessing. Amen. This displeased Jonah greatly. Come on, y'all. And he was grieved. He prayed to our Father in heaven, saying, "O our Father in heaven, isn't this just what I said when I was still in my own country? That is why I fled beforehand to Tarshish. For I know that you are a compassionate and gracious Elohim, slow to anger, abounding in kindness, renouncing punishment. Please, our Father in heaven, take my life, for I would rather die than live." Our Father never replied, "Are you that deeply grieved?" Now Jonah had left the city and found a place east of the city. He made a booth there and sat under it in the shade until he should see what happened to the city. Our Father in heaven, Elohim, provided a ricinus plant, a gourd, which grew up over Jonah to provide shade for his head and save him from discomfort. Jonah was very happy about the plant, but the next day at dawn, Elohim provided a worm, which attended the plant, which attacked the plant, so that it withered. And when the sun rose, Elohim provided a sultry east wind. The sun beat down on Jonah's head, and he became faint. He begged for death, saying, "I would rather die than live." Then Elohim said to Jonah, "Are you so deeply grieved about the plant?" "Yes," he replied, "so deeply that I want to die." Then our father never said, you cared about the plant which you did not work for and which you did not grow, which appeared overnight and perished overnight. And should I not care about Nineveh, that great city, in which there are more than 120,000 persons, who do not yet know the right hand from the left, and many beasts as well? Amen. So, Father, one we will pick back up in Micah. I love you, Legend. I love anybody else who's watching these videos. I pray that they're edifying for you, edifying for me, going through the scriptures again, and I would love to go through them again, and again. May our Father, the Son, and the Spirit be with us. I love you all. Peace and love, family. Have a great, wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day. Amen. Fix this real fast. Yep. Get through this book, man. Beautiful book. May our Father, the Son, and the Spirit be with us. Amen.